For 25 years, I worked with the ACLU of Massachusetts, which is strongly opposed to the kind of killing that is being done with these machines in our name. And I first of all want to start by telling you about Naim Ullah, age 10, who is pictured here 1 hour before his death on October 18, 2010. He was killed by a drone strike on Sanzali in North Waziristan, Pakistan. The media originally reported the strike was a success because it killed up to 7 alleged militants and wounded another 6 alleged militants. This young boy, Naim, was in the next door house and hit by flying shrapnel. Pakistani lawyer Mirza Shahz Akbar, who discovered this case, said, quote, "Finding cases like Naim's, which was not initially picked up by the media, is always troubling. It suggests there may be many more civilian deaths than reports indicate." So now I would like to just say a few more things about what is going on. We have a president who reportedly told his aides, quote, "It turns out I'm really good at killing people," end quote. You remember that? And thanks to an outcry from people like you, over a year ago, he promised more transparency on the Kill List program. But have you seen it yet? No. Just over a week ago, after 55 people were killed by multiple drone strikes in Yemen, the U.S. Senate, with Dianne Feinstein in the lead, stripped from an intelligence bill the requirement that the president would report each year on the number of combatants and civilians eliminated by so-called targeted killings. So that's gone now from the bill. But don't worry. Director of National Intelligence James Clapper assures us, quote, "The executive branch is currently exploring ways in which it can provide the American people with more information about the United States' use of force outside areas of active hostilities," end quote. So doesn't that make you feel a whole lot better? No. President Obama in May last year also pledged that, quote, "With near certainty, no civilians will be killed or injured in drone attacks." Within 2 weeks, a drone attack had killed a 10-year-old boy in Yemen, and the president was silent. Now, once upon a time, we were told a fairy tale. We were told it's the bad guys we are going after, and we always know who is at the other end of a missile sent on its way by the push of a button thousands of miles away, because our intelligence is that good. Then we found out about signature strikes, those strikes in which any military-aged man found in a place the U.S. regards as suspicious could be zapped by a drone for being in the wrong place. And such a male would be considered a combatant. So we found out about signature strikes. Then it got worse with the introduction of Gilgamesh and Shenanigans. Have you heard of them? Gilgamesh and Shenanigans, I'll get to them in a moment. Thanks to Edward Snowden's revelations and some courageous military whistleblowers, we now know that there is nothing human about the intelligence that decides who should be consigned to death by drone in the National Counterterrorism Center disposition matrix, which is where these decisions get made. Algorithms do it through an analysis of the vast NSA metadata collection. It turns out both JSOC, the Joint Special Operations Command, and the CIA used NSA metadata analysis to select cell phones to zap. It's cell phones we're killing. And if the wrong person is holding that phone or that suspect SIM card, what if it's in the wrong hands? Well, that's not our problem. They were selected as suspicious by an algorithm. So enter Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh. According to Glenn Greenwald and Jeremy Scahill, writing for the new online newspaper Intercept, on February 10, 2014, Gilgamesh is the code name of the NSA geolocation system used by General Special Operations Command. Under Gilgamesh, a device is attached to the drone, and as it circles, that device locates the suspect's SIM card or handset to incinerate. This device is already being marketed to domestic law agencies in the U.S. It can trick cell phones into sending a ping. It gets pinged as if it were a cell phone tower, and it also intercepts the data from cell phones. So that's Gilgamesh, used by JSOC. Now, the CIA prefers Shenanigans. Shenanigans is an NSA platform that vacuums up all the electronic data from all electronic devices in a large geographical range to search for a target. As the Washington Post reported, the NSA has a motto, quote, "We track 'em, you whack 'em," end quote. So now we know one of the uses to which the NSA's vast metadata collection program is being put. And very soon, it may be that fully autonomous drones, as you just heard, these fully autonomous drones will be doing the whacking. There will be no need for people like Brandon Bryant, who spent 6 years as a drone sensor operator in a squadron responsible for 1,626 deaths before his conscience told him he had to quit. During that time, he had no idea how many civilians were being killed and where the intelligence he was getting was coming from. What he did know was that there was an ever-increasing demand for more and more targets to be added to the list during the CIA mission in Yemen, codenamed Victory Dance. That was the name of this drone mission in Yemen. After the killing of Anwar al-Awlaki's 16-year-old son, he decided he had to speak out. Unless we greatly ramp up the national sense of outrage, I fear the day may soon come when weaponized drones are flying in our skies in search of targets provided by NSA algorithms. Just look at how quickly the machinery of war is being transferred to the hands of local law enforcement through the Pentagon's 1033 program. Now local police are getting MRAPs, among many other things. And by the way, they're free of charge. Some police departments and federal agencies already have surveillance drones, and evidence from the Florida State Attorney's Office investigation into the killing of Tamerlan Tsarnaev's friend, Ibrahim Todashev, in Orlando, suggests that he might have been under extensive drone surveillance before he was killed. Back in June 2013, then FBI head Robert Mueller confirmed that the FBI flies drones domestically. I applaud everyone here for taking a stand against drones as the weapon of choice in a secret U.S. forever war on a battlefield that is global. And for the sake of humanity everywhere, we must find ways to amplify our voices and rouse the nation from its corrosive conscience fatigue. Let me just say one more thing we can do. We always have to keep Guantanamo in mind. And right now, here in Massachusetts, here in Cambridge, we can take a stand against the appointment of David Barron to the First Circuit Court of Appeals. This is the husband of our would-be Governor Juliette Kayyem. It is David Barron who, as a White House legal counsel, crafted the legal memos saying that U.S. citizens could be killed by drones. And there's a petition online to demand that before the Senate look at that confirmation, that the Justice Department release those legal memos, which are how They gave the so-called justification for the killing of American citizens, including 16-year-old son of Anwar al-Awlaki. Thank you very much.